We know the joy of giving is its own reward. But who says you can't get something for yourself, too? Now when you buy vanilla MasterCard gift cards, you can enter to win one of over 10 prizes every week for 10 weeks, including a grand prize of $10,000 in vanilla gift cards. So get gifting and start sharing the delight for more chances to win. Go to get-gifting.com to learn more and enter for your chance to win. Cards are issued by the Bancorp Bank and MetaBank, members FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated, and may be used in the U.S. everywhere debit MasterCard is accepted. Terms and conditions apply. Cards distributed and serviced by Income Financial Services, Inc., which is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, and MLS ID number 912772.
ADHD sounds driving me crazy. I don't wanna take this, you're gonna have to make me. ADHD, I don't wanna take this, I feel like I've been slavery.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Hooligan Radio. If it's your first time here and you're hearing me talk, that means you made it past our ad, so thank you for that. This is a podcast where we talk about movies, video games, basically everything pop culture. We also talk cryptids, true crimes, conspiracies, and any other weird shit we find on the internet. Speaking of that, Zach, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going great. Like how I'm now the weird kid. That's what I'm known for now.
I'm now the weird kid. Like you weren't the weird kid before.
But now I get to fully embrace it.
Now
the public knows.
Now you're making the big bucks being the weird kid.
And you've made money so far?
Oh.
Josh, wait, Zach, did you not?
Oh, man.
We didn't include Zach in the... Oh, Isaiah, how's it going?
You know, it's been going pretty good. I can't lie. It's been a decent week, I would say. There hasn't been a lot going on this week, but sometimes that's what you need.
Well, I think this podcast is going to pick up your week because we got a lot to talk about. We're doing top 3 things that take place in space today. We're also talking about new NBC streaming service. Isaiah's going to talk about his social media hiatus that he experienced. We have some reviews for you guys, and then we're doing a classic, the Desert Island game, later on. So let's get started, though. So we have like a document that we share where we put what we're going to talk about, and Zach just put completely baffled. So I'm excited to see what this one's about. Zach, what do you got for us today?
So this is still a developing story, and I have to say this isn't fully verified just yet. So I won't use his name, but supposedly an East Cleveland City Council vice president was arrested on Tuesday for allegedly unlawfully selling alcohol at a back-to-school fundraiser, but it also featured underage exotic dancers.
Yeah, I saw this article too, and the first comment on Facebook that I saw, welcome back to social media, one of the first fucking things I see is this.
Aren't you ready to be back?
The first comment I saw was like, buddy, did he make that money though? Hey! And I was like, Jesus Christ.
There's a lot to take in that, just that title alone.
Yeah, the actual title of the article is pretty what do you call it? Kind of clickbaity. It just says arrested for back to school fundraiser with underage strippers. But in reality, if you read the article, he was arrested because he was selling liquor without a liquor license, and he denies anything. Basically, the underage exotic dancers is essentially just a rumor that this is what he's claiming anyway. So that part of it's just completely hearsay, not confirmed. But he was arrested for not having a liquor license and selling alcohol. He described it as
pretty crazy for a back to school event fundraiser. Can you imagine? Like when I think of fundraisers, I go back to the good old elementary school days where we had like carnival events at our school, or like little festivals, like apple festivals. Whatever fundraiser features alcohol is a fundraiser that's already doing better than all the previous fundraisers I've been.
And I love the way that he describes it. He says he got a misdemeanor for an I that wasn't dotted and a T that wasn't crossed. It's like, you mean applying for a liquor license?
Yeah.
You gotta think though, dude, like... How desperate they are for funds on the east side of Cleveland at their schools, man. Like, you don't come up with selling liquor at a fundraiser unless you fucking need money.
I mean, you have to do what brings in the crowd or it gets people's attention. I fully understand that. But
I don't think that it was it's probably not the best way to do it. Might as well just sell some
100%.
Mally's chocolate bars or some shit to raise money, But
I'd rather have a Bud Light instead of a Mally's chocolate bar at the end of the day.
What
I
about
don't
White
know,
Claw?
man. What about a pretzel
White
bar?
Claw. Pretzel bars are pretty high. That's at least above a Bud Light. I have to give it that. Maybe not above a White Claw, but
Dude, when a football player or like someone in the student council would come in selling the Mally's chocolate bars, that just always made your day when you were in class. You know, you're in study hall, you got like a slick $5 bill, boom, 5 pretzel bars, you're set basically.
Yeah, bro.
I still remember to this day winning a goldfish at our elementary school fundraiser for like guessing how many Skittles are in a jar.
When I was in high school, I was one of the people that sold pretzel bars. But I also had a job, so I would just not sell them and then fucking buy the whole box and then
Just buy your way.
boom, now I got my
And
own
then you have
pretzel
all
bars.
the pretzel bars.
Yeah, but no, this is what you do, bro. You take those pretzel bars, right? And you stash them in your locker. Well, you buy the whole batch, okay? This is investment 101 right here. You buy the whole batch, you stick them in your locker because you know there's going to be 40 other kids selling those chocolate bars. You put them in your locker. You wait it out a little bit. Boom. No one's selling chocolate bars. You got all the chocolate bars. You sell them for $2 a pop. You make all that money and more,
Did you
bro.
do that for a class? Wouldn't your teacher? Wouldn't someone be like, "Why is he selling chocolate bars outside of the period?"
Who the fuck?
I don't want to get too far into that.
Name
But
one
essentially
teacher who
what
would
I
have gave a
wanted
fuck.
What I essentially wanted to lead up with this segment or with this article is a little game and see who can come up with the best fundraiser idea for that. No holds back. If you want strippers, you can have strippers. Beer, that's there. Let's hear it.
I would say $10 entry fee. You get entered into 100-person live action role play battle royale. Fucking Hunger Games style. We're talking cornucopia of fucking weapons. And then it's like a 50-50 raffle. Winner gets half of whatever was put in. So there would be $1,000. You would get 500. We would get 500. I would run multiple games. It'd be like a week-long thing. There'd be a game every night. If you win, you could choose to double or nothing. You could get all in there, all kinds of crazy shit. Be
So
real life
okay.
Fortnite.
So LARPing.
Yes.
It's a giant. I like it. I would do that.
Remember that? Remember LARPing? I would like think about this. Like, I'm thinking about when I was in school. I don't know if you guys had it the same way, but like whenever you were in any class, if you ever needed to go somewhere, you had to have the teacher sign the back of your planner, and you only had like a page of passes per semester. So like you couldn't, you know what I mean? Like you would run out. You guys remember that? So what if you entered a raffle for a fundraiser, and the winner of it, you just got unlimited for the entire school year?
Wow.
Okay.
What about
That's
you,
not bad.
Zach? What would you do?
So mine's taking a little bit from Josh with the planner thing. So
Fuck.
essentially what I would, well, to an extent. So essentially what I would do is I would keep the carnival theme. And I'm assuming that mine would be for a school just because that's what's going to fit into this. And essentially each part of the school or wherever, it's going to be carnival themed, but it's going to be a freak carnival theme. And it's going to pretty much use the kids at the school, whether elementary, middle school, high school, who cares? Each grade has freaks. And essentially exploit the freaks and make your own freaks. And then you have a planner, and you essentially have to go visit each one to get a stamp. But throughout it, you can buy drinks, food, just have a good old time.
It's a pretty good idea.
Sounds pretty cool. I thought you were trying to just say, yeah, so we're going to make bullying basically the purge. So for 24 hours, you can just bully the fuck out of whoever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
All you have to do is pay $100 to get in.
Have you ever wanted to bully a middle schooler? Come to my fundraiser.
Come to my fundraiser. Let's
The purge for
bull.
bullying.
Jesus.
What about you, Josh? What's going on in your space, your realm over there?
Sure. So before we jump into the top 3 this week, I wanted to talk about NBC. They're launching another streaming service to join everything else that's coming out. So their streaming service is coming out in April, and they are calling it Peacock, based off of the NBC logo,
Ooh.
which I guess makes sense. But I mean, it is a pretty easy name to make fun of. I mean, people have gone as far as Gizmodo had an article that said NBC might as well have named it Penis TV. But essentially, NBC's kind of slant on this. Their advantage is that NBC has always had like the big sitcoms, right? So they're gonna have everything on there: The Office, Parks and Rec, all of the NBC type sitcoms over the years are going to be on there. And once essentially this comes out, you're not going to see any of those programs featured on any other streaming service. So all of those kind of NBC type shows are going to be pulled from everywhere else and put on NBC's streaming platform. Now, of course, they are going to make some original stuff as well. Like they announced a reboot of Battlestar Galactica, and they're also making a show starring Ed Helms, who Andy from The Office, and they're going to be making some movie reboots as well. Another show reboot that people got excited about was Saved by the Bell. I mean, that was before my time, but that's kind of their.
I tweeted about it though, and I didn't see anybody who was really excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think a generation above us, but basically that's their thing. Is kind of for like the people who watch sitcoms in like the 90s, early 2000s. It's all going to be archived on this streaming platform, but it's kind of had some pushback from a lot of places. Basically, everyone's saying, this is just another platform that you're just going to feel pressured to buy and pay for every month, not for its new content, but for content that was created a long time ago, and now they're just charging you to watch it. And that's kind of like the same pushback Disney Plus has gotten. Now, Disney Plus obviously is making a bunch of original stuff too, but it's like, oh, well, now if you want to see if you want to stream any Disney movie, you have to pay for Disney Plus. It won't be anywhere else like Netflix or anything like that. So that's like the biggest pushback of these streaming services that are like, instead of making new stuff like Netflix and Hulu, let's just backlog as much as we've created and put it on a streaming platform.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know what NBC shows I even watch anymore. I mean, I don't really watch anything anymore, but like, was 30, I guess the last one I watched was probably 30 Rock, or is that even NBC?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
30
NBC.
Rock, Modern Family, The Good Place. Those are a
the
few newer
Community
ones.
NBC?
Yeah, well, before it was canceled, I believe so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, before they fired fucking Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big one that they're not gonna have is Friends, because Netflix paid an outrageous amount of money for it. And also Seinfeld. I think it came out earlier this week. Netflix purchased Seinfeld for 2021, and they paid $500 million.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that shit, bro. I've heard a lot of good things about Seinfeld. I might have to throw that on as the white noise in my life.
Well, PSA for anyone who doesn't know, it's on Netflix in full right now. So, or I'm sorry, it's on Hulu in full right now. So you can stream Seinfeld right now if you want. But it will be on Netflix, I guess, for those who don't have Hulu in 2021.
If I really wanted to get NBC or like the CBS streaming service, I would just get cable to watch NBC or CBS, to be honest.
Right. My thing is, I normally watch things for pop culture like discussions, and nobody's discussing those shows from these archive shows. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get NBC to watch whatever new shows they have when people are really gonna be out here discussing like fucking Black Mirror or whatever Netflix puts out, or Handmaid's Tale or whatever Hulu puts out, or the fucking Mandalorian. Like, it's just gonna get drowned out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and one point they also make on that, just for people that have kind of been pushing back on it, is they're worried that with the archive shows that like we're going to get to a point where they're going to copy Netflix's model of, Netflix doesn't release a lot of their original stuff on like home release, like physical media. There's a few of it out there, but not a lot of it. Like Roma, I don't even think has a home release that you can buy, and that was like a Best Picture nominee. So people are worried that what if NBC just archives The Office and then never releases another Office home video. Like, obviously you could go out and buy a box set right now on like DVD, or maybe they have a Blu-ray one, but you're not, what if they never release a 4K one, or whatever technology gets to in the future? Are we going to get to a point where all of our archive shows have a paywall, basically, that you have to pay every month? You can't just go buy a box set, for a show that you used to really like. So I think there is some worry with that type of stuff, but overall, I'm as much as I love The Office, I'm probably not going to pay for a service every month just for the opportunity to watch it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if any, what the interest is like in spring when it comes out. So we're going to jump to our top 3 this week. So this past weekend, Ad Astra with Brad Pitt came out, where he plays an astronaut in space, and it inspired me to do top 3 properties in space, things in space. It can be movies, TV shows, video games. You guys know the drill. So Isaiah's actually first this week, and then it's going to be me and then Zach, and then we'll snake it. So Isaiah, you're up first.
Top 3, I'm going to have to take the obvious choice coming from me and go with Halo, the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
Just going to grab all of those real quick and say nothing has made me more interested in space than that big old ring in the sky with the Master Chief and the Spartan lasers and the energy swords and the gravity hammers. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, it's a pretty fair one. I'm also going to go pretty generic for my first pick as well. Going to go Star Wars. When I think of space in movies, that's the first thing I jump to. So pretty easy pick there for the first one. What about you, Zach? You got 2 in a row.
Going third just sucks. Knowing I came in with 3 things already on my list, and 2 of them already taken. So I have to say at least the other thing on my list being Dead Space, because I imagine one point in space it's just like that, completely terrifying, and I want to know what to be able to do when that happens. But my second pick, easily Galaxy Quest, starring Tim Allen, which I believe is the parody of Star Trek and not Star Wars.
Yeah, Spaceballs is the one for Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely Galaxy Quest.
Okay, so you got Galaxy Quest and then Dead Space, you said?
Yep.
So I'm going to go for my second one. I'm going to go with Unreal Tournament. That took place in space, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Did it?
Yeah, I remember. This is like, very vague memories, but I just remember spending like hours on that game. It was like the first game I ever played on PC before like PC gaming was like a real thing. So I always really enjoyed that. That'd be my second pick.
So that means it's back to me, right, Chief, with the double choose. I'm going to have to go with my next one. I'm going to have to go with the Titanfall universe. I'm bringing Titanfall 1, one of the most underrated games I've ever played. Titanfall 2, also very underrated. Apex Legends, very kind of adequately rated.
Relevant.
So yeah, I would say the Titanfall universe, one of my favorite space properties. And then since top 3 things that take place in space, gonna have to throw down on him and say Matthew McConaughey is my number 3 thing in space. Oh man, when he's floating around out there in Interstellar, man, you're just like, wow, Matthew McConaughey, you're the best thing in space.
I love how you couldn't even go with Interstellar. You had to go with Matthew McConaughey.
No, specifically Matthew McConaughey. Interstellar is... And it's a pretty good movie. I'd say it's pretty good.
It's a great movie.
I'd say it's pretty good, but it's not top 3. It's not better than Matthew McConaughey.
It's not better than Matthew McConaughey as a whole.
You can just imagine Matthew McConaughey just driving his Lincoln through space or whatever the fuck.
No, I can only imagine him just going, all right.
Fuck
the
you.
entire time.
All right. Oh, I just did it. So my third one is gonna be the Alien franchise, because in space no one can hear you scream. The first Alien, amazing horror movie. It's the second one, Aliens, a great action movie. The third one and fourth one aren't that great, but still, Alien and Aliens. I mean, talk about. There's been plenty of horror movies, I feel like, in space, but nothing's really even come close to that pinnacle of that Alien and Aliens set for space horror movies. So that'd be my third pick. What about you, Zach? Your last one.
So before I say my third, I want to give an honorable mention to StarCraft, which I'm truly surprised Isaiah did not bring up.
Nah, fuck StarCraft. That's bullshit. That's what my dog's named after, and that's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's only in your life every day.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking annoy the piss out of me. She over here barking at me and shit. I don't need no damn StarCraft. You know what Matthew McConaughey doesn't do? Bark at me or poop on my floor. Yet.
I don't know. He might in space. But my third one is Mass Effect series.
Oh, yeah. That was a pretty good one.
Fair.
Yeah. Very good series overall.
Overall? Interesting choice of words there. Heard that the ending wasn't that hot.
That's why you say overall.
Say,
cover your bases.
I would have said pretty good series except for the ending.
Hey, I guess since we had to take the series into it, that's what we had to do.
All right, so are we gonna get any hate for none of us choosing Destiny?
Oh yeah,
No,
absolutely. There's a fucking.
Does anyone else believe that series is overrated?
You better relax, boy. You better relax, boy.
I'm not gonna lie. Since it's come out, and I've believed in the hype since day one, I have not enjoyed myself playing either of the games.
You better relax, boy. Not that
All
good.
right, so that's all for me this week. Isaiah, you want to talk about your topic?
Yes, sir. I'm back and better than ever on social media. It's been a hell of a week. Josh handled my entrance meme. I felt like a fucking Halo ODST drop pod fucking flying in on the Twitterverse with that Thanos meme. You guys see it. You love it. I got 1 million likes on that shit. It's lit as fuck. That's exactly what I look like. I'm like, boom, this is me on social media. But my 4 months away from social media, it was good for me, I think. Kind of good to take a step back and look at it. And I think, honestly, my problem was before, and I now know it, and I'm going to try to keep myself aware of it, is I think that everybody takes social media just too fucking serious. I think social media was the most fun whenever we didn't take it serious back in the days whenever we were younger and we're like for a TBH. That was when that shit was fun. I'm just going to become part of the shit poster squad. If you don't like it, see ya. Because shit posting is way more fun than actual posting. I changed my Twitter handle, so we're going to have to talk about that in the episode at the end. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, so I might save that little tidbit of information for the end to force you guys to listen to the end so you can hear it if you don't already follow me. And yeah, so I think that everybody who's taking social media too seriously, in both the aspect of trying to use it to get a job and then trying to hire people from social media, need to not do that anymore because that's lame as hell, and get back to making the best memes and not worrying about your online persona every minute of your life.
Do you think that social media will ever not be relevant, or do you think
No.
we're just stuck?
I think it's just going to change to different sites or different methods.
Yeah, I think social media will be around forever. It will not be... The thing about the internet is it will never look the same from year to year or decade to decade, but it will always have the same thing, even if it gets rebranded as something, they call it not social media or something like that.
See it, play it, skip it. See it, play it, see it, play it, skip it.
Wow,
I'll
what
go
a
ahead and go
beautiful
first.
theme. What a beautiful theme that was provided to us by Sugar Burger.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and go first just to get mine out of the way because I don't
Hell
have a ton
yeah.
to say. So I finally watched Dark Phoenix. For anyone not aware, Dark Phoenix is the last X-Men movie released by Fox before, Disney now owns them. I mean, they did buy them before it came out, but it was made, before the purchase, or at least started to be made. So it's still in the X-Men, universe with the characters from that X-Men universe. And I really loved this new kind of reboot of the X-Men, starting with First Class, Days of Future Past, the sequel, one of my favorite superhero movies. And then Apocalypse, a lot of people didn't like. I thought was okay as an X-Men movie. I didn't even see Dark Phoenix in theaters because of how bad it looked, and it just came out to rent, and I finally watched it. And guys, it's probably the worst theatrically released film I've seen this year. Huge skip it from me. Boring as hell for an X-Men movie. There's so little X-Men, and the ending is just so flat and pointless. It's like no one wanted to be there for this fourth movie. And I've never seen Game of Thrones, so maybe she's better, but oh my god, is Sophie Turner terrible in this movie.
Wow.
Damn.
And even like actors I love, like Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence, terrible in this film. Evan Peters is
Really?
good, but it's because he's only in the movie for 5 minutes, so he's just Evan Peters for 5 minutes, and then they just write him off. So it was just not good. They should have just released this thing to Hulu or even wait until Disney Plus came out. I'm mad I even paid $5 to rent it. Huge skip it. Even if you're a huge X-Men fan, I think you're going to get angry at this. There's a few things in there. If you're a fan of the comics, I think there's a lot of stuff in there that those, fans might pick up on. I'm not a comic reader myself, but even I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But beyond that, story-wise, awful. I didn't think anything was going to be worse than Godzilla this year, but I think this was.
Wow. Honestly, though, did we really go into this with much hype?
I don't know, dude. When you say names
we bashed it quite a bit though throughout the time it was being shown.
Yeah, but when you say names like J Law and fucking James McAvoy, just like they didn't even perform well. Like, god damn.
Yeah, it's not their fault. They're trying. Like, even everyone makes fun of Jennifer Lawrence, like, ever since like the second X-Men movie, because she started it before she was really popular, and then she got really popular, but she was contracted to these X-Men movies. So everyone's always made fun of like Jennifer Lawrence does not want to be there. But this movie, she still tries. She still does her job. It's just the writing is so bad. So that's about as much time as I want to spend on that one. A couple things I have liked. But Bill Burr released a new Netflix special, and I've always loved Bill Burr. He has, a knack for being very old-fashioned and, get off my lawn guy, basically. And I wasn't a fan of his last couple of specials for that reason. I felt like it got a little bit too, like, let's just talk about how everything's terrible. And it's like, yeah, some things are terrible, but, you still have to make it funny. And going into this special, the first, 5 minutes is him just yelling about how everything's terrible. And I'm like, oh, here we go. But if you get past that first 5 minutes, he actually has some really, really funny bits in the act. One of my favorite ones was he talks about him and his wife, who's African-American, watching a documentary on Elvis and how, there's obvious racial racist context to how Elvis got famous, and he's him as a white guy, this is all just going over his head, so he doesn't understand why his African American wife is getting so angry sitting next to him, and he's like, I'm just trying to watch a fucking documentary. Right. He's like, I don't want to have and he does a good job portraying both sides, his wife's side and his side and issues like that. So I thought he did it much more nuanced, and I think some people who don't like Bill Burr would just be like, oh, it's Bill Burr, he just yells about stuff that that white people get angry about. But I think in this special, he does a really good job of towing the line and showing why some stuff that happens today is too much and ridiculous, but then also at the same time, why it's good that these things are happening. So I did like it, but again, the first 5 minutes is just him screaming about how terrible liberals are. So if you can get past that, the rest of it is pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that it was. I also watched it. It was. I would say it's gonna be borderline offensive to the people who get offended.
Yeah.
So if that's you, probably not your cup of tea. If you're one of those people who read that Vice article and then didn't watch the Chappelle's stand up, then you're probably not gonna like this one. But I generally was laughing out loud to some of his bits in my living room when I watched it. But what I think is also good is he has been kind of out of the limelight for a while. So his media tour to promote his new show, he was on H3, he was on Rogan and all that other kind of stuff. Dude's just got some funny fucking stories about his life. And
yeah,
while he might be offensive and old-fashioned and all that other stuff that Josh said, I think some of his stuff is super funny. But I liked the content that comes with the content of his media tour to promote his show was also pretty good.
Yeah. And then one last shout out I just wanted to throw out there, music-wise. Charlie XCX released a new album, self-titled album called Charlie, and it's probably one of my favorite pop albums of the year. So if you like pop and you like Charlie XCX, I haven't been a huge fan of hers or anything. I haven't really followed her, but I checked it out and I'm really digging it. So that's a play it for me.
Hell yeah. I'm going next.
All right. I won't fight you.
Literally an hour and a half ago, I started this show called Trigger Warning with Killer Mike. Oh my fucking god, it's so good. It's so fucking good. All I can think about while we're recording this is how I'm about to go watch more of it after this. Killer Mike, as most people probably don't know, I don't know. He's part of the rap group that I recommended whenever Fox Body was on. Shout out to Fox Body. He retweeted the tweet that I tweeted today. go check out his music on Spotify or whatever. But he's in Run the Killer Mike was in Run the Jewels. He now has a TV show on Netflix where he just kind of like addresses the issues of today's society in his own Killer Mike way. And in the first episode, he tries to go 3 days only spending money in the black economy, so he wouldn't spend any money that went eventually back to the white man, was the whole thing. So he basically starved himself for 3 days because he couldn't find anywhere that was like the food was prepared by an African American and then came from a farm from an African American and all that kind of stuff until eventually he does or whatever. But oh man, dude, the second episode is so good. He like in the first 5 minutes he walks into, I think what's like it's got to be like a grade school or maybe a kindergarten class, and he's like talking to these kids, and he basically tells them that like their dreams of being presidents and scientists and astronauts are unreasonable and they should get into trades, and just fucking shuts these kids down. But then like he has a handyman come in and like teaches the little kids like how like lights work and like wires and all that kind of stuff, and just things like we never learned in school. And he's just trying to like make that whole point of like we're learning so much useless shit in school, like these well-known novels, while they might be important culturally, they aren't as important as like being able to fix your own lamp and shit like that. I don't know. I just started it. I'm 2 episodes in, and oh man, that second episode is a trip. I highly recommend watching this one.
Honestly, I haven't heard anything about that. I might have to check this out.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. The first episode is pretty good, but the second episode, okay, so I'll give you a little bit more spoiler on the second episode. He eventually tries to teach people like trades, like how to like fix their sink and all this kind of shit through educational pornography. So if that doesn't sound enticing to you, then I don't know what else you can get. It is fucking crazy, my guy. But he shows these pornos to a focus group, and then these focus group people do 75% better on the tests that he like had them take, and then he eventually goes and tries to pitch it to like a tech school. So it is incredible. I would highly recommend watching it. Big see it from your boy.
All right.
What about you, Zach? What do we do?
So this one's probably a skip it for me, in my opinion, but I know others have really liked it. So this week, I've started getting into the series What We Do in the Shadows. Alyssa and I started it. Essentially, what the show is, it's that dry humor, very similar to The Office, where it has those cutaways and as the main character speaking, and essentially follows vampires in modern day and what they're doing and like how they survive and what their plans are. Honestly, I heard a lot of positive, good things about it, but just like The Office, I just can't get into this dry humor for whatever reason. Alyssa loves the show, but I just can't get into it. It's actually based on a movie that came out in, I believe, 2013. That got a lot of good feedback, reviews, and then the creator decided to go ahead and create a TV show about it. It just came out in 2019. It's already got renewed for a new season in 2020. So they're going to keep making it. But if you like The Office, if you really like that sort of dry humor, this is the perfect show for you. If not, definitely skip it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I would even go a step further. It is, I would say, much drier than The Office. Like, The Office is like it's a dry humor show, but there's some like, Michael's stupid, and there's some like easy comedy in there too. This show is like, in the movie too, which I really loved the movie, is just so dry that it's like you're not gonna laugh out loud really at all while you're watching it, but then you're just gonna remember the jokes, the good ones, like forever, because they're just so clever. But for me, I really love the movie and was excited for the show, and I tried watching it, and I'm kind of with you, Zach. I cannot get into it at all. I haven't even been able to finish the first episode, so I guess I can't have that much of an opinion, but I haven't given it a real chance, but it just doesn't have that same feel as the movie to me.
I think about like 6 or 7 episodes deep of the first season, and it was to the point where I was like, hey, if you want to continue watching this on your own, feel free to. I don't have to be here, because usually we try to watch stuff at the same time, especially things we're interested in, but I was fully like, hey, this is all you.
You're like, yeah, you're out.
Couldn't do it.
We know the joy of giving is its own reward. But who says you can't get something for yourself, too? Now when you buy vanilla MasterCard gift cards, you can enter to win one of over 10 prizes every week for 10 weeks, including a grand prize of $10,000 in vanilla gift cards. So get gifting and start sharing the delight for more chances to win. Go to get-gifting.com to learn more and enter for your chance to win. Cards are issued by the Bancorp Bank and MetaBank, members FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated, and may be used in the U.S. everywhere debit MasterCard is accepted. Terms and conditions apply. Cards distributed and serviced by Income Financial Services, Inc., which is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services, and MLS ID number 912772.
All right. So welcome back, everybody. Let's go ahead and get to our main topic. Josh, would you like to throw us in on what this topic is?
Yeah, so we're going to be playing, I'm sure you guys listening have done this before, either with books or TV shows or whatever the case is. We're going to be doing the Desert Island game. So if you were lost or stranded alone on a deserted island, what would you bring with you to the island? The logic already doesn't make sense, because why would you know that you're going to get stranded and still go? But anyway, throwing all the logic out of the window of how you would watch movies or play video games on this island, we're going to say 5 movies and 5 video games you would bring with you. Now, we're going to do this a little bit differently than how we do our top 3s. So we're not going to be doing a snake draft or anything like that. Our lists can have some of the same stuff. That's totally fine. We're just going to go through. We're going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with movies, and then we'll do video games. Each of us can do the 5 movies that we would bring with us. And unless someone really wants to go first, I'll go ahead and start it off.
I will go first, because I guarantee this is on every single person's movie. Number 1 movie bringing to the island is Grave Encounters. We hit our bid. We mentioned it this podcast.
Yes, sir.
If it's not on everyone else's list, I'm ashamed.
Zach, would you just say you would bring Grave Encounters 5 times?
If I was able to, yes.
Are you bringing also Grave Encounters 2 or just the original?
I limited myself to just the original.
Okay, respectable. What's the rest? Go ahead with the rest of your list.
Oh, we're going for every... Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do the whole 5, yeah.
Okay, so I did not understand this topic after you first explained it to us. I thought that this topic was what movies or video games you would bring in that also feature islands or stuff along those lines. Like have that island.
You're going to watch the worst fucking movies to be on the desert.
You're going to be depressed the whole fucking time.
Well, so what I essentially did, I was like, I'm going to bring the movies that, with the exception of Grave Encounters, of course, that I have an island theme in with it, that I want to be able to take the knowledge from it in case I come across this situation on an island.
Okay, that's fair.
So the second one is Castaway, which is a classic.
That's the one where he talks to the volleyball, right?
Yeah, with Tom Hanks. Wilson, thank you. Couldn't remember the volleyball's name. So you get a lot of useful information from him. You get to know what to do. You get to learn what not to do. So hopefully you get to survive longer, maybe possibly make it off the island. The other ones are going to be a little bit more situational. So the third one's going to be Jurassic Park, just in case I accidentally get onto an island that is covered in dinosaurs. What do you mean? You need to know how to survive a raptor.
Yeah, bro. You're really going to be able to watch a whole fucking Jurassic Park movie while there's raptors on the fucking island.
Hey, this logic is already out the door. Unless you're going to be powering your makeshift freaking coconut TV with the other coconuts you have on the island. I don't know how you're watching any of this shit. Fourth, King Kong. There's probably an island out there with giant monkeys. That's probably not too far off.
Monkeys.
And number 5, just in case things get extremely spooky and scary, Shutter Island.
Ooh, nice. That's a good one.
Very niche, but at least I'll be able to survive any circumstance with this collection of movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
2-hour research you would be using to survive, man. It'd be so good.
no. I respect it, Zach. I respect that theme. That's pretty good. Isaiah, do you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. I didn't have a rhyme or reason to mine because I didn't think I got the theme right. So, the movies that I would bring, I'd probably go with Fight Club, classic. I could probably watch that movie once a month and still get the enjoyment out of it. Basically, I don't watch that many movies anyway, so if I watch one of these movies a week and then exchange one of them, I basically could be good forever. The next one is The Dark Knight, another classic Isaiah movie to talk about on here, because I think these are the 5 movies I've ever seen in my whole life.
I was about to say, these are 5 movies that I know for a fact I've seen with you. Don't know anything else.
The Lion King.
The animated version or the live action?
Yeah.
The live action one, dude, because sometimes you gotta get your daily dose of the Beehive, and you gotta get your dose of the a Gambino, and
Wow.
yeah, I think I'm going live action. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, bro. I just watched a trailer for that. That's the only reason why this one's in there, because that movie.
What do you mean you just watched a trailer for that? How
Yeah.
You haven't seen the movie?
out?
I've seen the movie. I just watched the trailer again.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ, calm down.
How old is that movie?
I'm fucking no, but the
great.
trailer's on Netflix if you fucking highlight it. Relax.
It's not a decade old.
Jesus. But Michael Cera's the best fucking actor of all time. I don't give a fuck what anybody got to say. Except for if there was a movie where Michael Cera went to space, he would have been already talked about on this episode.
In the list.
Has he not been to space?
No. He's been to drug space in the fucking whatever, the one where he does fucking cactus juice, gets high and shit. And then lastly, I would have to go with Grave Encounters, just in case Zach wanted to visit my deserted island. I'd have a movie for him to watch.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, but I would be like, while he's doing this research, let me plot a way to kill him.
I was about to say, you just kill me and eat me while I'm
Damn.
easily into the movie.
While he's enamored by the bathtub scene.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Josh?
So I tried to go for not necessarily my favorite movies, but movies that I just know I could watch over and over again, because a lot of these I have been watching over and over again my whole life. So first one, actually, though, to contradict exactly what I just said, the first one is my favorite movie, Inception. Gotta bring it. Just a great watch. If I have 3 hours to burn on the island, there you go. Inception will blow my mind for that night.
Right.
Then gotta go the comedy route. Probably one of my favorite comedies of all time, This Is the End. Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, Danny McBride, Michael Cera's even in there, James Franco,
Michael
Craig
Cera
Robinson.
does an amazing role in that movie, man.
Yes, one of my favorite comedies. I went back and forth with a lot of those types of comedies. I'm like, Superbad, Knocked Up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I'm like, what do I bring? I settled on This Is the End. Another one, absolutely no reason for this. I just feel like I've watched this movie a million times and I could watch it a million more. Holes, the movie with Shia LaBeouf based off the book.
Wow.
Digging up them holes.
Digging up them holes with Armpit and Zigzag and X-Ray. What a fucking great movie.
Yeah, that's a fucking
underrated
one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then another older movie I've been watching my whole life that I absolutely love, School of Rock, Jack Black. Classic.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a classic, because it's a long way to the top.
Fun fact, there is a music studio near my apartment called School of Rock. And
Wow,
I
dude.
don't know how they were able to get that name.
This guy really about to dox himself on the internet.
Hey, man. We haven't already.
All right. And then my last one. So I was thinking, okay, what am I missing here on this list for my last one? And I'm sorry to say it's not Grave Encounters, but
It's a romantic comedy, because I know that's exactly what you're going for.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so-
I'm already ashamed of you for not having great.
well, no, I didn't want to spook myself on the islands so that's why I didn't put a horror movie on here. But there were 2 things that I was missing: rom-coms, as Isaiah said, one of my favorite movie genres, and then something to watch during the holidays. And I thought a movie that was a great mixture of both of those is Elf. So
Oh,
Elf
fuck
would
yeah.
be my last movie I would bring to watch every Christmas.
God, it would be shitty to have Christmas or just the winter season on a island.
I was thinking the opposite. I was like, I think that the one thing that I would miss the most is Christmas on a deserted island. So I should have just put 5 Christmas movies on this thing, but I didn't do that because I was like, Home Alone, Die Hard, and then I couldn't come up with another Christmas movie.
I imagine you used to do Home Alone 1, 2, 3, 4, and Die Hard.
Right.
All right, so that's our movie lists. You guys listening out there, send us yours as well. So let's jump into video games.
I'm going first.
All right, you got it. I believe in you.
All right, I'm going to take easily the best games right here and throw them down. The infinite replayability games. You could just be chilling on the island forever. And I'm going Minecraft, bro. Who would not bring Minecraft on a deserted island? You could just play forever. You could build an underground city. You could do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't even fucking matter, bro.
So,
you could build
instead of being Minecraft in real life and surviving, you will play Minecraft.
What if you could just... Oh, yeah, okay. Why don't you just give me another game where you could map your whole fucking island in the game, Zach? You could map it. You would know where the resources are. You could map it. Bro.
Just overlay it onto your island.
Yeah, you could use fucking HoloLens or whatever. I'm just going Minecraft. Yeah, of course you could just build all the stuff your own, but you got to get the blueprints and schematics from making it in Minecraft, man.
Yeah.
You just make every single resource on the island into blocks. Just fucking square cubes and then make your shit out of it. Boom. Easy. Next game. This game actually has infinite replayability in my eyes because I've spent probably over 300 hours on it at this point in time. Enter the Gungeon. It's an indie game. I talk about it a lot. It's fucking amazing.
Great game.
I have it for the Switch. I have 170 or more hours on the Switch. I also have another 100 hours on the PC, so that could tell you how much I can play that game. And that is while I'm actually have a life. So imagine how many hours I could get if I didn't have a life. After that, another game that's kind of like that, very infinite, gets a lot of praise. I'm going Dead Cells, another indie game. This one's more of a Metroidvania. I've talked about it on the podcast before, but I'm a big fan. Every run you unlock a little something new, and you could get that in another run, all that kind of good stuff. It's a roguelike, whatever. Now, let's talk about it. I'm going Breath of the Wild because while I haven't played it in a long time, I think if I had infinite time, there's a million different things you can do in that game. It's like the Skyrim.
You would just get distracted and put hours into that game.
Right. Yep, and you could put so much time in that game, and you could become the best Link you'd ever been. This one I wasn't going to put on the list, but Josh brought up that whole disclaimer of, like, obviously it doesn't fucking matter. But Halo fucking 3, bro. I could play infinite amounts of Halo 3 forever if I was able to connect to the internet and play with other people. I would play SWAT.
If you were able to play with other people.
Right. I would play SWAT for fucking years before I even thought I needed anybody else. Even if the whole part was like I couldn't play with other people, I could build maps in Halo forever, and then I would just be like, one day I'm gonna get rescued, and then I'm gonna show off these maps, and then they're gonna make me a map designer in the next Halo game. And
I will tell you right now, if your island had a working internet connection powered by Coconut Power that had Halo 3 and Team SWAT, I would be there right there.
Yeah, we would be there forever. We would play SWAT literally forever.
No reason to leave.
Right. It'd be the fucking best. But that's my 5 games.
All right. I like it.
Who's next?
Josh, I feel like it's fair for you to go.
Yeah, sure.
I went first last.
Yeah, so I kind of went with the same thing as far as replayability. The games I think I could, play the most without getting bored. So first one off the top is going to be Mario Party 2 for the N64. I feel undoubtedly the best Mario Party game. I think the newest one, Super Mario Party, gives it its run for its money, but I still think Mario Party 2 is by far the best one. And when I'm on a deserted island, I will finally have time to finish a 50-turn game of Mario Party.
All right.
My next one, this is going to alienate almost everybody out there, but I'm going to go with SmackDown vs. Raw 2007.
All right,
Because
so
it
I have
has-
to ask because have also played the SmackDown versus Raw series for quite some time. Why specifically 2007?
Yeah, so my favorite mode of any video game ever, General Manager mode, a simulation mode where you get to run the wrestling show, build rivalries, book pay-per-views. It was introduced in SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, but 2007 is what perfected it, and then they just got rid of it. It was in 2008, but it wasn't good, and then they just got rid of it. So 2007 is the one shining game where if I ever want to do a wrestling simulation, I play SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, and anytime, even to this day, I pull it out and play it, I get sucked into it for weeks. So that's definitely on there as well. That'll be kind of like my brain game, get my brain going when I'm on the island.
Okay.
Then the rest of them are just sandbox games because I figured what could I spend my most time. So my last three are Grand Theft Auto 5, Minecraft, and Skyrim.
All right. Skyrim's a good choice. That's another one that you could just throw hours into, so you can forget that you're on a desert island.
See, I'm hoping that Zach brings up the one that I know that is like literally infinite. But we'll see. It's the only other game.
I don't think I have. You've already heard that I fucked up this entire.
Oh yeah,
segment.
it's an island game. Zach's gonna say Raft, some other bullshit.
Wow.
Well, let's let him say it. But real quick, I do want to shout out. We asked online for you guys to give us some ideas, and Brad said Skyrim. That's what kind of made me think of that game. So thanks, shout out to him as well. But okay, Zach, what's your list of 5?
All right. So, like I said, I already fucked up this one, but it's okay. I picked 5 games that had island themes with them that I've all really enjoyed. The first one, an instant classic, being Yoshi Island.
Yoshi's Island is for free right now on the Switch if you have Nintendo Switch Online.
Boom. And if you haven't played it, go play it. Great game. Definitely a great game to chill on the island, get some coconuts, just chill there. Why can't I think of anything else on an island besides coconuts right now?
Because
I brought that
sheltered.
You've never been on an island before. You're not like Isaiah. He moved to an island.
Yeah, I lived on an island.
You're right. Secondly, I would bring up Super Mario Sunshine. What an amazing game for the GameCube.
It's good.
That game fucking pissed me off, so I had to veto.
What do you mean?
Shit's hard as fuck.
But that's the challenging part. It's challenging, so you devote a lot of hours to it.
Yeah, but if I'm on a deserted island, I can't look up a walkthrough. That's bullshit.
Whatever.
If I hadn't have gone with Mario Party 2, though, I probably would have gone with Super Mario 64 or even Super Mario Galaxy before Sunshine. But hey, do you.
Yeah, all good. Third one is, and this, I said this as the series as a whole, and that's the Tropico series.
Tropico.
One of those...
I've never played Tropico.
Yeah, neither right. What is that?
It's essentially a game where, and I'm probably going to take a lot of crap for this, but it's almost like I haven't played in so it's almost like Civilization in a sense, from what I remember.
But more modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
and it seems to be, at least the ones that I remember, it would seem to always be around the Cuban area.
Yep.
But essentially, you just manage your own island, bring it up from very little to make it the most for Thailand. As you can tell, haven't played that much, but it was an island game that I found. Secondly, and this game I do love, is the Dead Island series.
Fucking Dead Island. Oof.
I know for a fact Isaiah's played this. What about you, Josh?
No, I have not.
So essentially, the Dead Island series is a zombie game based on an island where you essentially find weapons throughout the island, use it to fight your zombies, but there's also a really good story involved with it. I haven't played the second one, but the first one was amazing. Heard bad things about the second one, but overall, I thought it was at least one to mention. And then lastly, my all-time favorite game that luckily has an island theme with it is BioShock.
Fucking BioShock.
Which is another great media source to where if you need to know how to do something on an island or you come across a specific thing going on an island, such as being able to find an underground base that leads to underwater, you'll know what to fucking do.
Interesting. I want to throw some honorable mentions whenever you're done. So
I think this is going to be full of honorable mentions at this point in time.
I completely forgot about the following games. Super Mario Maker 1 or 2. That game is literally infinite.
Literally. The definition of infinite.
Yeah.
Which Minecraft is also infinite.
Right. Also, basically infinite, but we do not know. I would have to go with No Man's Sky. Heard that game is good now. I haven't played it, though, so I wasn't going to risk it.
We should have said that for the space segment earlier.
Probably. That's both
You
of the
got
honorable
ball today, boys.
Yeah, that's both of the honorable mentions I have.
That's it. Just those two.
Yeah.
I was gonna say a Call of Duty game, but I wasn't taking into effect like the age of the lobbies. Like I was gonna say Modern Warfare 2, but it's like, okay, is it like the modded fucked online like right now in real life, or would it be like Prime Modern Warfare 2? Because if it was like, you know how it was originally, absolutely, it's on the list.
Oh
but
yeah,
if it's like
bro.
today's lobby, if it's like today's lobby, then it's like you can't even play it.
Yeah.
If you put me in the hyperbolic time chamber and all I could do was play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 when it was in its fucking prime, you would never have to take me out. I would live there forever.
It's crazy how they hit it right on that game, and it's just never been as good since. It's pretty wild.
I'm gonna go completely to the left, 360, whatever the saying is.
360 no scope, backwards backflip.
Yeah, and bring in the Tekken series.
Bolts only.
Ooh,
What
okay.
what a beloved
bowling?
series for myself, and I could easily devote hours into that series.
Just gonna play Tekken by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be some sort of wildlife on that thing. You can
Hey,
easily
play
teach
me
them
in
to
Tekken.
totally-
Throwing
Hey,
it
man,
at a
there's always-
snail. Or in Zach's Island, a coconut.
Yeah. See, I'll just have my own version of Wilson playing Tekken with me, and I'll be set for life. Or at least till I run out of coconuts to eat.
Have you ever eaten a coconut?
A raw coconut? Absolutely not.
Yeah, it sucks.
I bet. That's why everything's
all-
going to be coconut powered. How?
It's all
Don't know,
Isaiah
but it
ate
will
for
be.
dinner in Hawaii. It was just coconuts.
Yeah, I would just pick them off the trees because I was too poor to feed myself.
It's the high cost of living.
Okay. Is there any other honorable mentions that we thought of while everybody else was talking on our own podcast? I would like to mention that our graphic design partner, Kyla, mentioned that she would bring the Truman Show and Layers of Fear. I'm not positive what Layers of Fear is, but I have seen an episode of the Truman Show before, and I bet that there are a million episodes of that, and you could probably get quite a bit of
Truman
enjoyment
Show
out
is a movie,
Oh,
You're right.
shows how much we know.
and it's a great film. I agree with her.
Well, there you go.
Jim Carrey.
It was not in the five I named, so obviously I haven't seen it.
You know what else
I
I,
know
would
you-
bring to...
Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead.
this is a little bit of anything. I would also bring Hello Neighbor, because it is a
Yes.
great game, but I still cannot beat it. And I refuse to look up how to beat it.
Dude,
So that's
yeah,
what I would
no.
bring.
How frustrating would it be to play one of those games, but like you have no access to like any type of guide or walkthrough, so you
Mhm.
fucking have to actually beat it? Oh, I might just commit suicide on the island.
Dude,
That's what
no, you
all
gotta
these
get
five
that
games
game.
have been for me. Just games I've never been able to beat, and I will forcefully have to beat it because I'm stuck on it.
You got to get that game that was like crazy all over Twitch called Getting Over It. With the guy who's like in a pot and he has like a sledgehammer and he's like trying to climb over shit. Have you seen that game?
Oh yes,
No,
yeah.
I haven't.
You'd have to bring that and just fucking be on the island just fucking screaming like, fuck! It's just the fucking coconuts are like, bro, relax.
Chill, buddy, chill.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got anything else on that bad boy.
Honorable
Think about
mention: Mario Baseball.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that's great.
Let's play the baseball,
baseball
game.
game.
All right, I think that does it for this week.
All
Who
right.
do we want to thank?
We want to thank Surgerberger, which we shouted out earlier whenever his theme played. He gives us all our boops and our bops. Zach, who do you want to thank?
You, the listeners, for listening to us and pretty much giving us a reason to do this every week. Thank you.
One of these times, Zach's going to thank American Spirits when I throw it to him, and it'll be great.
Hey man, I share our love, not just
no.
to
You
them,
always claim
'cause
the
they deserve
fans.
it, our love.
You always claim the fans. You never
What's wrong
thank
with our
American
fans? Are you
Spirits.
saying our fans? are
No,
not
I'm
good?
saying that no one else
You
gets a
heard it
chance.
here. You
No one
heard
else
it
gets
here.
a chance because you don't know what the song is that we use by American Spirits. Yeah, I knew you didn't know, you motherfucker. All right, Josh, who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank American Spirits for letting us use their song ADHD for the beginning and end of our podcast.
All right. Where can we find you on the internet, Zach, so that they can flame you for all the things you've said in this episode?
If you want to flame me this week, you can find me at Zach the Pigeon on Twitter, and only on that as of right now, but hopefully not forever.
Yeah, he's
I'll
going to
give you
change
the
his
ability-
Twitter handle to Destiny Hater 6969. 69 Treyway is my daddy.
What? Fair, I guess.
What about you, Josh? Where can we find you on the internet?
Josh Hooligan R on Twitter and Instagram, Josh Martin 7 on Letterboxd, and you can check me out Tuesday and Thursday over at Hot Takes on the Lake, my Cleveland Browns and NFL focused podcast. And that's really about it. What about you, Isaiah?
So, are you guys ready? Drum roll and all that bullshit for my new fangled Twitter and Instagram handle. It is at Emo Uncle Tito. Let's go! Dab, 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 dab.
Emo Uncle
It is
Tito. I love it.
incredible. It is so me. Yeah, so find me on Twitter for all your shitpost needs from this. Catch me carrying that clout goblin all over my back. And you can't find me anywhere. Well, you can find me on Facebook if you try really hard. But who knows if you'll ever find me. What else do we do at the end of this podcast? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, yeah, Zach, your cue. Ready?
Bye.
There you go.
ADHD sounds driving me crazy. I don't wanna take this, you're gonna have to make me. ADHD, I don't wanna take this, I feel out of place lately. No, life and take me.
Are fresh fruits and vegetables a part of your day? If not, we can help. We're New Jersey Snap Ed, and we offer budget-friendly ways to help you add nutritious fruits and vegetables to your meals and snacks. For healthy recipe ideas, visit njsnap-ed.gov today. That's njsnap-ed.gov.
We know the joy of giving is its own reward. But who says you can't get something for yourself, too? Now when you buy Vanilla Visa gift cards, you can enter to win one of over 10 prizes every week for 10 weeks, including a grand prize of $10,000 in Vanilla gift cards. So get gifting and start sharing the delight for more chances to win. Go to get-gifting.com to learn more and enter for your chance to win. Cards are issued by the Bancorp Bank, MetaBank, and Sutton Bank, members FDIC, pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc., and may be used in the U.S. everywhere Visa debit cards are accepted. Terms and conditions apply. Cards distributed and serviced by Income Financial Services Inc., which is licensed as a money transmitter by the New York State Department of Financial Services. NMLS ID number 912772.